to join you on?
Uh, I'm sharing your live here in Binance right now.
Ah, okay,
Yes,
amazing.
no need to worry about it. Okay.
Okay, all right,
How are
fantastic.
you? I think you really busy right now? I think you are. I'm so sorry, but yeah, I'm looking forward to this because I've always loved Dogami since I've been in Dogami for 2 years already. Yeah, I've been
Oh wow,
grinding Dogami for so long.
amazing!
Yeah.
Thank you so much. It's very cool, and I'm super happy that we're able to catch up. And yes, it is super busy, but it's exciting. There's a lot of things happening, and obviously we're trying to meet our our roadmap and our deadlines. So it's always crazy to build in the time that we have to build. So yes, it's busy, but it's good busy. So I'm okay.
Mm. I'm I'm really excited about Dogami because when I started reading the roadmap and the partners of Dogami and their partners are Sandbox. I was like, oh wow, Sandbox is a really good metaverse, and I really got curious on the play to earn. The play to earn right now is also one of the things that a lot of people really like to do and play, and most especially those people who love um, dogs. Yes.
Excellent. Excellent. Yeah, we were very lucky to get the strong partners that we have that help us navigate in the space, and we're so lucky to have the community that we have. We have a community that's partly gamers, partly NFT collectors, and partly dog lovers. So it's really cool to be able to regroup these different these different things
Mhm.
that we like in one space. So it's fantastic. Oh, you're on mute. I lost you.
Oh, so I will be asking you some questions that I have asked to some people and to also me. I so what inspired the team to create Dogami, and who are the founders and backers?
Sure, makes sense. So we're four co-founders. It's Adrian Magdalene, Bilal El Alami, Max Sturkel, and myself. And except for Bilal and Max, none of us knew each other. We were all working in different spaces. Max and Bilal knew each other from university, and the idea originated from Adrian. So Adrian had been working in the pet industry for a long time. He had a very successful business called Whammies, which is still today the biggest Web2 pet community and website in the world, which he sold to Nestle a few years ago. And he thought, well, there probably is a very interesting opportunity to develop a new community in Web3 for dog lovers. And he was in contact with Bilal, which has the blockchain knowledge and technology, because Bilal worked on the development of EquiSafe and Pirates Labs, which are his two other companies in which he developed blockchain tools in the Tezos ecosystem. And they had a conversation on how they could build this community in blockchain, but also give the community members advantages in the space. And soon after, Max and I joined, and sat down and developed a roadmap on what it was that we wanted to create for the community and what was a product that could live through different changes in technology and through time. And we decided to build Dogami, which we see as an entertainment company that will allow you to experience the things that you love in different ways. And to help us achieve this, we found backers to support us in the building and growing of our community. And we're lucky enough to get Ubisoft to come join us also as advisors to help us build and navigate in the gaming space. Then we got some well-oiled and well-seasoned backers like Animoca Brands and the co-founders of the Sandbox to help us learn and navigate in blockchain NFTs and blockchain gaming. So they bring a lot of knowledge for us on how to build strong platforms. And then we had more traditional investors that have like VCs or banks like BPI France and Xange, which are advisors to us as well and help us make sure that we have a business model that allows us to grow through time, but as well that we make the right executive decisions to build a sustainable business. Um, and I would say that our concept moving into production was um, we were inspired to build an entertainment brand that was born in Web3 and to make the NFTs that we sold to our community the gateway to transmedia experiences and interactive storytelling. And when I say transmedia, what I mean is that your NFT will be your key to multiple media driven or gaming driven experiences, whether it's connecting your wallet and recognizing that you have an NFT to read more about the narrative or the story, or to be able to jump into a game directly. So we were inspired by the fact that there was potentially uh, space to build the next Transformers or Hello Kitty or Marvel in the Web3 space. And that's what Dogami is ambitioning to become.
Oh, you guys are really have good partners, and Ubisoft is also a good partner too. I know that Ubisoft is Sandbox uses Ubisoft also, and Tezos is also a good blockchain as well. I heard that DOGAMI is one of the first NFT game that was launched in Tezos, and
Uh,
yes.
yeah, that's correct. Building on Tezos was a strategic choice. There there is a lot that we align with when it comes to Tezos, the sustainability aspect, but also members of the community with whom we were talking to before we even started to build, but also the amount of experience that Bilal has on Tezos was instrumental for us to start our production and development on a blockchain that we understand, that was scalable, sustainable, and allowed us to move quite quickly and swiftly to a place where we can provide the platform to our community to be able to use their NFTs.
That's great. um, what since I also saw that Dogami is like going to be like a Tamagotchi kind of game. When since right now I also have my Dogami. I have also have Dogami pets too, and I usually play this every day, and I also take care of my pets. Will there also like notifications on, because it says in the white paper that you'll get notifications that your dog will needs to take a bath, or or hungry, or needs to potty, or you need to clean it. Will there be notifications like that soon?
So I think for this, so we made an announcement in December that we're doing a shift in terms of the game development,
Mm-hmm.
where we wanted to bring a little bit more gamification, but also more scalability to the game platform that we were offering. So maybe I can tell you a little bit about uh, what we're building, what kind of what kind of products we can see in the year that's coming. So that might further explain where we are and where we're going. So as I mentioned before, what we're developing is an ecosystem of experiences where everything starts on our website. So you that owns a Dogami already, you know that you'll be able to adopt your Dogami puppy on our marketplace, on the secondary market, or if you're lucky enough to be there in one of the mints, you can adopt your Dogami puppy there. And once you have your
Yes.
puppy, you are able to transition into the first phase of the experience, which is the app that you're probably talking about now, which is Doga
Mm-hmm.
House. So the shift that we made is placing Doga House as an NFT viewer in a mobile application where you're going to have some interactions with your Dogami. So you can customize them and provide some of their needs. But we wanted to move the game to something that was much bigger.
Okay,
And
so exciting.
I'll get to that. I'll get to that a little bit later. The second experience, which will be arriving in the next few months, is the first transmedia experience. So transmedia, as I was saying before, is being able to cross over to other media. And
Mm-hmm.
what we're launching for the second experience is Dogami, Companions of Earth, which is the first comic book and will be the first of 5 comic books that tells you the story arc of the Dogami, in which you'll be able to discover their mythology, where they come from, what are their interactions with us on planet Earth, what are the stakes and where they're going. And it will be exclusive to all Dogami NFT holders. So if you hold a Dogami NFT, you'll be able to connect to our marketplace or recognize that you're a holder of a Dogami NFT, and you'll be able to explore the different characters and environments that are original and authentic to the Dogami universe. And one thing that will be very exciting is as part of the first 5 comic books, we'll also be allowing community members to take part in a casting so that their Dogami can be featured in the comic book. But we're going to be
Ooh.
saying more about that in the future. But you could potentially be holding one of the next characters that you will discover in the story. And our
Exciting.
third experience, which is the first, let's say, the first step in developing Dogami as your true virtual companions that are metaverse ready, is that we want your Dogami to come with you everywhere you go in the metaverse. It was very important that you would be able to have a virtual pet that is interoperable with all the biggest leading platforms there are out there. And last year, we announced our partnership with the Sandbox. And the idea is that that will be the first metaverse in which your Dogami will be able to come with you and follow you through your discovery of the virtual space. And how that will happen is that we're going to be using a bridge in which you connect your wallet to. It recognizes your Dogami, and you can claim a virtual, a voxel twin, so a digital twin of your Dogami that is ready to be used and gamified in the sandbox. And like I said, this is really the first step in the direction for your Dogami to be interoperable with all the metaverses. And we're targeting metaverses which are at the height of our expectations and quality. Uh, and we want to make sure that we're only in the best platforms that are out there. So it starts with the sandbox, but who knows? Maybe the next ones could be the other side, or other metaverses that are not released that are very big. So that's kind of the third experience, and then the fourth experience, and this we've only spoken just a little bit about, will arrive later this year, and it's one we're very excited about. And for the moment, we're really working on making sure that we're going through the right production gates to be able to make the right announcements to the community. So right now, the team is working on proof of concepts on the different animations. Um, but what we can say is that we're working on an ambitious hybrid game that focuses on a few key points that we have been getting in terms of feedback from the community as to what their expectations is from a Dogami game. So the game will be called Dogami Academy, and what we're focusing on was multiplayer. We want our community members to be able to see other Dogami on screen and potentially other community members that they've been talking with. We wanted to
Oh,
bring
that's awesome.
events and challenges. We wanted to have a game that had mainstream appeal. How can we bring mainstream audiences to Web3 gaming and make it easy for them? So that was one of the big criteria. Then we wanted a game that was scalable. Uh, and that's one of the criteria we have is, do we have the foundations for something that we can build on top of for multiple years to come? And we wanted something that had an original gameplay, but that feels familiar, so that you have this intuitive plug and play. You find yourself in the game, and it's very clear as to what your goals are, what it is that you have to do, and what kind of steps you have to take to be able to get there. And one of the most important points was that the game be highly influenced by the lore that we've been working on for the past 2 years. So bringing in story elements, characters, and environments that you would have discovered in the comic books, so that you can go visit these places as a player. So those are the things that we're working on at the moment this year, and that is how we see 2023 from a community perspective, but also as a builder's perspective, to make sure that we have a wider array of experiences that you can have by being a Dogami NFT owner.
I'm so excited for what's coming up in Dogami. There's one viewer who was asking, will Dogami be having a land in Sandbox?
Yes. So we do have a land, and we have been building on that land secretly for, I would say, the past 4 or 5 months. We were waiting on some specific updates from the sandbox to make sure that we could cater the experiences that we ambition to have. The Alpha Season 4 pass will bring updates that we were waiting for us to be able to bring those experiences to our community members. And the land that we're building is really cool. It's really cool because it offers quite a wide variety of things to see and explore. So I hope that we can share some sneak peeks soon. But yes, we do, and we're building.
I'm excited. I'm really excited for that. So I also received a Dogami shirt as well, and also the cap. And there are also Dogami holders who was invited to that, like a ticket to the metaverse. So does that mean that's the ticket to the metaverse of Sandbox?
That's a good question. And I think that one of my partners and the head of marketing, if I answer that question without permission, would be very angry at me.
Okay.
So I can't say
Okay.
too much about the golden ticket for now,
Okay.
but yes, there's something linked to that, but I cannot say anything for
Okay.
now.
Okay. um, hmm. So, um, what is the vision of Dogami? I think you have already said this already.
Well,
Hmm.
I can maybe develop a little bit more that in a way that's incredibly clear. I think our approach to Dogami is kind of unconventional for Web3 at the moment, but it's really to deliver on-the-go entertainment to new and existing audiences. We're building an entertainment brand that is scalable and sustainable across multiple applications and platforms. We see it as a one-stop shop for a multitude of different experiences. It's not just a game, it's not just a comic book, it's a
Mm-hmm.
combination of digital and in real life activations through a gateway, a door, which is your NFT. I think that it needs to be more than just one experience. You're entering community and a space that allows for more. So we should be building more, and that's our vision for Dogami.
Thank you for the answer. So, um, the current model of play to earn, where NFTs are required to play the game and earn, will it transition into a free to play for new people to test the product first, then incentivizing to buy the NFT so they earn some Doga tokens?
Sure, that makes sense. I think we have a view on play to earn, um, which I know is shared by other companies building in the space at the moment. Number one, yes, I think that free to play to incentivize new gamers to join the platform is essential. The bigger the community, um, the more we can offer to the existing one, and there needs to be a limit as to what you can get from as a free to play gamer, but it should allow you to transition and to further grow the ecosystem. When it comes to play to earn, we see ourselves for the games that we're building for Dogami as games first. It needs to be at the height and at the quality of the best mobile gamings that there are in the market. And then you apply reward mechanisms for the skill and the time that you input. So it's you play and you earn instead of you play to earn. And I know it's
Mm-hmm.
just
Mm-hmm.
a small difference in the way that the sentence is built, but it further defines your expectations as to going in. If the game's not fun, if the game cannot grow through time, and if you don't enjoy spending time on that platform, then your experience is diminished highly. And we don't want it to just be a click to earn. We want our community members to enjoy the time that's spent in the game, and that they want to come back and they want to discover new things, and they can suggest new things as well, because they enjoy the space that they're in, and they want to spend more time there. We at Dogami are all fans of Dogami.
Mm-hmm.
You cannot work in entertainment if you're not passionate by what you do. And we want to enjoy the time that we spend in the game as well. Therefore, we want to go beyond the Call of Duty to make sure that that's what we're developing. And we're able to do that because we've, number one, have the backers and support that we do, that we have a strong community giving us constant feedback, but also we were able to attract professionals working in the leading gaming companies of the mobile gaming companies of the world, like Ubisoft, like Voodoo, to want to come on board and take a risk in their careers because they believe that actually this might be one of the biggest IPs in mobile gaming of the future, and so they're passionate to go further than just basic play to earn games. So hopefully we're taking the right decisions and moving in the right direction.
Thank you for that answer. I'm really bullish with Dogami, so I've been playing with that for every day. So,
Me too.
so currently the tokenomics of many P2E games is not doing great. What would be the approach of Dogami to improve this model?
Sure. I mean, so Max, who is our CEO, is usually the best position to be able to answer on the tokenomics, but we have ongoing conversations, so I have a bit of visibility. And what I can say is that generally what we do is we try to tread carefully with the amount of rewards we distribute to our players to make sure that uh, we are doing enough to thank them for their commitment and time, but that we're creating a model that's sustainable. We want to maximize the utility of the token by offering services like opportunity to purchase consumables, accessories, and in the future, the breeding that will allow to create more liquidity of NFTs on the market to allow more users to join. And then we're trying to find novel ways for people to hold their tokens rather than selling them directly. So whether it's depositing Doga in a staking contract and receiving NFTs or consumables in return. In short, what we want to do is avoid giving users who have a lot of token even more tokens. So it creates too much difference in between holders. And then also what's important is that we do proper data analysis and retaining the right to make short-term changes to avoid an oversupply and or a collapse of the game economy. And maybe last and foremost, and this is going to be dependent of Dogami Academy, is making sure that the game is fun, like I mentioned, and that people are actually willing to pay for it and stay there. And tweaking the game economy such that the gamers have an incentive to purchase a consumable without having this model of pay to win. It's that when I play a game, I want to unlock other things so that I can further grow my experience as a gamer. So it's making sure there's the right balance of rewards and incentivization to want to continue to build and to enjoy and play.
How do you, are you planning on the because Dogami will be having like a breeding system as well. So will they be having like burning Doga token for you to be able to breed the female and male?
Yes, that's correct. There is going to be tokenomics linked to the breeding directly, and for that, I think again Max would be the best to answer. But if ever there are comments or questions about that, I can always ask Max to give a little bit more clarity on what it is that we're making available to the community now, and I can always answer that directly on Twitter.
That's okay. Thank you. I since we last time, Dogami launched their partnership with Gap, and I also minted that too. um, I
Me too.
like like is that if like when you mint one time you get 15 gaps. I'm not sure. 3 mints. That's like 15. I don't know how much.
Yeah, yeah. So
Yeah.
you could purchase packs of
Yeah,
three,
yeah, yeah.
correct?
Yes,
Yeah.
yes. And then yeah, I don't know what so your does the dogs need to wear those to what's this to rise up their level or to gain more um doga token?
So there, so to come back, there was two phases in the Gap partnership. We've now completed phase one, which was being able to purchase virtual accessories for your Dogami, and those are going to be available in less than a month, if I'm not mistaken, in the Doga house. So you'll be able to accessorize your Dogami with the Gap accessories. Given that for the moment, Doga House is an NFT viewer, um, there will not be a direct impact on the Gap accessories in the NFT viewer. But in Dogami Academy, that could change. So this is something that we're tweaking at the moment. There is a second phase to the Gap partnership, and we've teased this just before Christmas. And the second part is a physical partnership in which you'll be able to discover the first in real life hoodie created by Gap for Dogami community members. And that will be only available to you if you're a Dogami NFT holder. So that's going to be very cool. It's going to be very
So
limited,
excited. Oh, it's limited.
but it looks awesome. I've seen it and I can't wait for everybody to discover it. I know I'm getting one for sure.
Oh
But
my
it's exciting
god.
to see Dogami finally move with an international brand in the physical space. So that's going to be awesome.
Will the partnership only be related to the game, or in the future we might see some actual? Oh yeah, since there are merchandise, I'm so excited for that. Okay, I think there's no. I think there. I think there. Did they announce that already or haven't yet?
The physical merch,
Yeah.
we've just teased it for now.
Okay.
So this is a little bit of uh, uh, exclusive news that we haven't fully announced yet. But yeah, more visibility on that very soon, and we'll be sharing a few shots of the hoodie. So that's going to be cool.
Will Dogami only be releasing dogs as pet in the petaverse? Are there any other pets in consideration? What would be the vision of the petaverse?
Hmm. That's that's a very interesting question. Um, like I kind of mentioned before, what we're doing with Dogami is we're already building this extensive universe that audience will be able to discover soon in the comic books. And you need to see it as a creation of a whole new IP in which there'll be multiple storylines. So you might be following one story in the next few months, and towards the end of the year, completely original characters. So if we were to compare what we're building to something else, we would be like an early Star Wars, where each character is so unique in itself that you want to know what their story is. And they each offer this opportunity to be able to tell an alternate story within that universe. So developing this IP already was going to keep us extremely busy for a long time. Um, but the Dogami, they're travelers, right? They're adventurers. So if you
Mm-hmm.
see here, you have this portal, and we've already kind of teased in our animated teaser trailers that they're going to different places. They're coming to us here on Earth, but what are the other places they went to? So who knows who they can meet or what other pets they might meet, and if those pets have stories to tell as well. So the door is wide open in the future to be able to bring new pets in this shared universe. But right now, the focus is on developing Dogami. But there are only open doors, there are no closed doors. So let's see where we go.
I saw in the website back then when it is not yet updated, like your dog can be a policeman, a real estate agent.
Yeah, so this is part of that concept of Dogami as a universe. I have to think of how I say this without doing any spoilers.
Okay.
It's complicated. If I think you need to see as Dogami Companions of Earth is going to be the awakening of the Dogami. And in those comic books, we're going to invite audiences to discover at what point we realize that dogs are actually Dogami. And what's the difference between a dog and a Dogami? And what makes them these mystical, incredible pets? So that's what we're going to discover when we say that we'll have Dogami cops, Dogami rescuers, is that we're talking about Dogami Academy, and
Mm.
it's very difficult not to do any spoilers. My God, these questions. We're establishing that there's a timeline, kind of like in the Marvel Cinematic Universe or things like that, where there's certain events
Yes.
that happen, and we're allowing for you to be in a place in the game where some events have already happened, and there's these strong bonds of companion between Dogami and human companion, so us, in which we live together. So if I do a certain activity, my Dogami is likely to be doing a very similar activity. I don't know if you've ever been to a dog park before, but you can practically always recognize which dog belongs to which dog owner, because we
Yeah,
tend
yeah.
to adopt dogs that resemble us a lot. So in our world, how far do we take that? That you're some doing a certain job or living a certain thing, so your dogami is too. It's a bit vague. I'm trying not to
Yeah.
spill the beans too
It's
much, but
okay.
yeah, that's what you have to imagine, is that it's your bond that makes you able to do the things that you're going to do, and that can be translated as well to interoperability. So what you're doing in another metaverse, your dogami will be doing with you. So yeah, the opportunities are pretty big.
So currently there were beta testers of the game. Can you describe some feedback of the beta testers?
Sure. And this might be unexpected, but I'm going to be brutally honest
Mm-hmm.
with the feedback, because um, to have a successful production on anything, whether you're producing a film, whether you're producing music, you have to be your own biggest critique. And when things aren't working, you have to be much harder with yourself than others will allow you to be. So I think working on Doga House was a very humbling experience for us all. We were focused on meeting deadlines versus meeting quality. which doesn't resemble us as a company, and hence for a long amount of time we were questioning the way that we were approaching it. And this was felt by our community as well. And I think a good 50% of our community came back with a lot of feedback, a lot of um, a lot of suggestions on how we could improve, what were the things that they disliked, what we
Mm-hmm.
also had some telling us what they liked. But I think that there was the lack of interactivity that you were able to have with your dogami was the most questionable of things, and the one that we got the most feedback from. And also personally, we thought the lack of emotion that you had with your virtual pet was something that we wanted to be able to to do more with. And this was 150% of the reason why a part of the team started working on some concepts and proof of concepts to build a more scalable game and a stronger game. So while we were getting feedback, we were already internally saying, okay, we're not at the height of our expectations, not at the height of the quality as a company we demand to have. So there needs to be a shift. There needs to be a pivot. There needs to be a long-term vision and not this short-term tactical approach of saying, oh, let's make this and that decision because it will please the community for the next 4 weeks and then we'll do something else. No, okay, let's take a step back. We've now raised funds. We've done a seed extension. We have the means to be able to develop a really strong game. Let's fortify the team. Let's hire where we need to hire to make sure that we can produce in the time that we need to produce. And let's build a game that allows our community to have the experience that they're seeking. So the great upside of Web3 is that we have this proximity with our community members that you don't have in other sectors or in other industries. So we're able to take in all this information, and we have a great community team with Alex, John, and Andy, which actually push us all the feedback that there is, and we collect all the feedback, and we're able to apply the changes that are necessary. And I mean, there has been some positive too, but I wouldn't want to talk about the positive
Mm-hmm.
here. I think what's the most important is to focus on the negative and what the community wants, so that that is our sole focus to be able to make sure that we move in the right direction. Um, what's good is that with this pivot, we can use a lot of the research and development that we've done since we launched Dogami, because the biggest of the work is being able to develop a wide range of animations that give you this kind of emotion coming from your dog, from your Dogami, and we've been able to do a lot of creative conception on the different environments and what they look like. So moving into the production of this new game, we have all this back end work that we've done through the past year and a half, so we can apply it to that pivot. Um, so all these things we're going to be able to use for Dogami Academy, and so we're in a much better place to be able to build than we were a year and a half ago. I don't know if that answers your question
Yes.
or.
Thank you so much. It's really good that that Dogami is listening to the members in the Discord, because I also share some advices to there. I also share there, and I also get to I really like the community in Dogami. It's not just the project but also the community, the moderators and the people who I interact to. They are really really nice and very very active. They always do their activities, game activities in Dogami. And yeah. So I yeah, that's how I think for me Dogami has a really good community. I think this is the only this is the only game that I saw that are very very active. Yeah. uh,
No, I think we're extremely lucky, and that's why we can't allow ourselves to make any mistakes, because we need to make sure that we pay back the community for the time and the passion that they have, and there's no bigger pleasure having a than having the validation from the community that, wow, yes, this is what I wanted, this is what I wanted to see, and um, you guys are doing good, and bravo Dogami. The time, energy, and commitment that goes into what we're doing is 24 hours a day, 7 days a week type of job. So we really do hope that what's going to be coming in 2023 actually is that year of shift to become one of the biggest Web3 project in the world. And I think that we have the right production roadmap and production gates to get there.
Thank you so much for that answer. Where do you see Dogami 2 years from now? And what is your target goals and upcoming updates for Dogami?
Sure. So I kind of answered
Yes.
the upcoming updates,
Mm-hmm.
but I think if we were to talk about where Dogami is in 2 years,
Mm-hmm.
uh, I mean, for us, by 2025, we want Dogami to be on every mobile device out there. We want Dogami to be either on or close to being on TV.
Oh wow.
In, in in
Dogami
in
too.
in terms of a TV series, for example, and we want Dogami to be in stores worldwide.
Mm-hmm.
I think Dogami is being built. The foundations are being put in place for it to be the next Pokemon, Hello Kitty, or Marvel. And we
Mm-hmm.
want to make sure that Dogami will be the next popular pop culture phenomenon. And those are the bricks that we're laying down in terms of building at the moment, and that's the direction and the ambition that we have. Um, and we want to be one of the vehicles that democratizes Web3 adoption. We want to attract bigger mainstream audiences to Web3, and be one of those projects like So Rare does so well, that attracts audiences that are not Web3 aficionados,
Mm-hmm.
or that don't know how to use the tools, into adoption of this space. So yeah, I think there's an ambition for us as a company, and there's an ambition for us as one of the players in a new market.
That I I noticed that Dogami is very very popular in France. Yes, and there's and it's my first time to see an NFT game in France that is very popular. That is Dogami, and yeah, France it's my first time to see a company in France that that is building Dogami. It's really nice that I got to talk to you about Dogami and how I also love my real life dogs too.
Of course, one is not there to replace the other. I mean, real life dogs first, right? No, and we're super happy to be here, and we have a great team that's becoming more and more international. Our hub is Franco-Swiss, so we have part of the team here in Switzerland, part of the team in France, and we have some super interesting professionals, and it's great to be growing out of Europe and to be able to talk to the entire world. Um, in our last data collection, we have Dogami owners in across 80 countries, which is crazy.
Wow,
It's
that's
completely
so
crazy,
many.
and and it's so exciting to be able to have a worldwide status, and we hope that we continue to talking to an international audience. You're on mute. I don't
Oh,
know if
sorry.
you're. So I didn't know if you were
Yeah.
talking, but I couldn't. I
Yes.
can't hear you.
Thank you so much for having this AMA. I really, really love Togepi, and I love the community, and you all of you, the CEOs as well. Very, very nice community. A very good. I hope that in the future that I will be able to see amazing announcements with Togami.
I promise this year will be plenty of announcements, but not only announcements. It will be filled with actual experiences for all the Dogami NFT holders. So this year is probably going to be our biggest year to date. So thank you so much for having me, and thank
You're
you
welcome.
to all the Dogamers that have listened, and to all Dogami curious audiences out there. Um, and we look forward to 12 months of building and incredible experiences.
Thank you so much. Goodbye.
Thank you. Bye
Bye
bye.
bye. And that's Dogami, guys. If you guys want to check out Dogami here, you guys don't forget to check out this one. Dogami website, dogami.com. If you want to adopt their dogs, you guys can press this one. And then you can now adopt one of the dogs. You can either buy from XTZ or you can buy it from with Doga token. So don't forget. And you guys can check out the swags, the costumes, the yes, these are also the costumes of Dogami, and this is the dogs, and this is the dogs also selling XTCs. Thank you guys. Bye bye.